my name's Tanya and I wanted to jump on here and just do a little bit of guided tapping with EFT. So the focus for this session, given that it's Monday, and on Monday is when we see our generally epic to-do list and it can feel quite overwhelming, the intention for this session is just to create a little bit of inner support. A lot of us may be finding that we have even more to do than we did before. This time of year is especially busy for a lot of people, and time and the things that are weighing on us can just feel really overwhelming. We have all of the restrictions with the ongoing challenges, and some of us have small children that we also need to take care of, as well as manage our workload and manage our families. And it is just a lot, and a lot of people are burning out. So how can we create a little bit of inner resilience and inner calm in amongst the external chaos? So EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques. There are quite a few videos on my YouTube channel that show you more in depth how to tap and why we tap. So I'm not going to go into that today because I just want this to be a short session. So just a quick recap on tapping. This is the karate chop point, tapping with 2 or 3 fingers with a little bit of intensity. Top of your head, inside of the eyebrow, outside of the eyebrow, under the eye, under the nose, under the mouth, collarbone. Find your collarbone kind of go out diagonally around here. It should feel a little bit tender. So you can either tap it like this, 2 hands, one side, whichever works for you in this area. Very good for emotional overwhelm. Last point, sort of in this kind of space underneath your arm. So Emotional Freedom Techniques, which is what EFT stands for, is a really excellent tool to use on a whole variety of different issues. And it works with the idea that we store a lot of the stress in our lives emotionally and in our energy body, and that if it's unresolved can lead to physical problems, it can lead to mental problems, it can lead to complete burnout and overwhelm. So we're working with all of the stressful thoughts that we kind of stuff into our head and don't tend to let out, to give them a bit of airtime. All of those voices that are in our head just want to be heard and acknowledged. And it's creating some inner compassion and just a space where we can allow ourselves to be feeling whatever it is that's arising for us. And then we can drop in some positive affirmations and explore some of maybe why the stress is going in there and why we're feeling the way we are. So I'm going to tap along with me, and I encourage you to repeat the words and feel what you're saying. Okay, so tune into them, and rather than just repeating it, really feel kind of how it is for you. And you may also want to, if you're working on kind of stress, you may also want to scale it out of 10. So where 0 is it's having no impact on you at all, and 10 is having a massive impact. Where are you with all of the stuff that's going on for you at the minute? How are you feeling? Are you feeling completely done with everything and just burnt out and overwhelmed, or which is like a 10, or are you kind of lower than that and it's just sort of a ongoing niggly, just feeling a bit stressed about things? So we gauge it so that we have something to work with, and the more that we tap on it, we're hoping to reduce the intensity of our feelings. Also really important to be hydrated when you do tapping, so grab some water. And let's tap. So even though I have a lot going on and I feel overwhelmed, I accept myself anyway. Even though I feel really overwhelmed with the amount of stuff I have to do, I accept myself anyway. Even though there's all of this stuff to do and I've nowhere near finished it, I accept myself anyway. I just seem to have too much to do, and I feel really burnt out with it all. I feel busy and stressed a lot of the time, and it's making me feel anxious and overwhelmed. I allow these feelings to be. I check in with how I am feeling and what my body is doing. I feel stressed and tense. I am open to working on this now. Even though I feel stressed and tense, I choose to allow myself to be. Even though I feel stressed and tense, I accept myself anyway. Even though I feel overwhelmed with everything, I allow myself to be calm in this moment. I have no control over the outer world. And I am so busy with everything. How can I create some support? How can I take care of my inner world? How can I connect to my inner resilience to get through these challenging times? I choose to take some time each day to just breathe and be. This is my time for me. Quick drink of water. So you might find, if you are super busy and feeling really overwhelmed, that sometimes boundaries may have slipped. So a lot of us, especially a lot of women, are people pleasers, and we like to say yes because it makes us feel valued, because people need us and want us, and then we feel really kind of pissed off when we are completely taken advantage of because we don't have firm boundaries. And obviously that applies to men as well. So if you are somebody that is saying yes too much and valuing other people's needs above your own, then there may be some kind of dormant or quite at the surface frustration and resentment. So our emotions are really good at letting us know when our boundaries have been crossed, or when we aren't giving ourselves stronger, tighter boundaries on our time and our availability. So I encourage you to feel what you feel and listen to your feelings on that and your emotions, and do some tapping on it. So it can be hard to say no. We might feel like we're going to get rejected, or people are going to be critical with us, or people are going to get really frustrated, or our bosses might not appreciate it. But we can only do what we can do, and we are not just a colleague or an employee or a parent or running our own business. We are multifaceted beings, and it's important and essential that we have boundaries in all of these areas of our life in order for us to operate effectively. So we'll just do a little bit of tapping on that now, in case it's relevant for anybody. Even though I feel really resentful because everybody wants something from me, I choose to listen to what I need and want. Even though I feel resentful and overwhelmed, I choose to check in with my boundaries. Even though it's really hard for me to say no to people because I don't want to be rejected, I choose to say yes to me. I hate saying no to people. I want to be liked. I like to be wanted. I don't like letting people down. I'm scared if I say no, people won't like it. I allow those feelings to be. And I allow my needs to be. My needs are just as important as everybody else's. I create healthier ways of being that support me. I can't pour from an empty cup. I need to fill my cup first. So that's just a little bit of tapping. We've kind of gone a few different places with that, from overwhelm to that kind of resistance that we might feel, or not having strong enough boundaries. So with EFT we say try on everything. You can kind of see the format of how it works. Even though I feel whatever it is, I accept myself anyway, or I love and accept myself anyway. And then allow yourself to tap and just tune into whatever it is that's going on for you. You can just have a stream of consciousness or just a dialogue going on about how you're frustrated or how you're feeling overwhelmed or whatever it is. And then just within that space of tapping, and this is a good point to do it actually, but you find the point that works best for you. You can just let yourself know, I'm safe, I'm here, I'm listening, I allow these feelings to be, I connect with my inner calm. Find something that works for you, a word or a phrase that helps you to feel more regulated, and you can just drop that in. So allowing the voice to kind of, the inner voice to be externalized so that you can hear some of the stuff that's going on in your head. Give it some space, kind of give it some airtime, and then just drop in some supportive, nurturing and nourishing, words that can help you, because we're trying to rewire some of our plasticity in our brain, really. So we have neural pathways, and when we are a certain way for a good period of time, we kind of form these grooves and these ways of being, which is sometimes why it's really hard to make changes. So when we do this kind of work, we are just doing gradual changes and creating new ways of being. And so it's not positive vibes only, it's not overnight changes, it's working with ourselves where we are to create sustainable, empowering changes. So I hope you found that helpful and useful, and I hope you find your week ahead to be manageable and enjoyable. Thank you.